So this is the beginning of day 4. And yesterday was, I don't know, I cut it off about 1 o'clock in the morning. This unit install is going to take some time. But lucky for you, now you can, don't look at this. I know you're looking at that. It's fine. I'm not done yet. But you'll have a baseline of what wires go where and what changes you have to make to your switches in order to get this to function. So again, with the wiring diagram, I've gone through and made changes to what I did, so I know for the next time, because I'm not going to remember. I mean, I can go back and watch the video. Headlight. The headlight is coming out of this switch gear, right, left side. It needs a ground and a power. So when you're looking at the cutoff pigtail, headlight is white and black coming out of the switch gear. Down below, it's white and yellow with a black stripe. Yellow with a black stripe is high beam, okay? Because it runs up here and goes into the gauge cluster and turns on the high beam light when you hit the button. So when we cut this off, this is going to be white will be high beam and black will be low beam. So there was another wire coming out of the switch gear. It was the brown wire. So brown wire is right here, and it links light switch, dimmer switch. I don't have a light switch. I got the dimmer switch with the push button, and then brown runs up to power. So what I did is I took the brown wire, which is cut off, and now it's green with a black stripe. Yeah. So on this side, it's green with black stripe. Green with black stripe goes to the output. Green with a black stripe goes to the output side of the unit, because power is going to flow into the switch and then flow out of these 2 wires. And I already checked it, so it works. So I'm going to get this thing wired up. White is high. So on the, I know it's confusing. If it wasn't confusing, everybody'd be doing it. Input side for the light comes from the key on. That was the yellow wire we took out of here. So when we turn the key on, we have power coming out of high beam, right? Where's the box? So green with black stripes coming out of high beam, running through the switches, and then coming here. White is high beam, black is low beam. And then I will be done with this thing. And then this is the factory connection. So I could cut this and shorten it, but I'll just tuck it up out of the way. It was this big before, so there's room. And so then what I want to do is yellow and black is going to white, and then the white is going to the black. So it's backwards. And then my ground, of course my little plastic thing is broken because it's 30 years old. And then I got a ground over here somewhere. And so what I think I'll do is I'll just go like this, right? So it was this long before, and you know, you're going to need to have a little bit of space. I don't know. Just seems like, let's make the wires kind of match. So I'm just going to use a or a splicer. It'll be okay. Now, if I get my headlight, I can measure for my ground because I had to make a new one. So the ones for the bulbs are not standard size, they're slightly larger. So the ones out of the kit, they don't fit. So I had to reuse this one. I cleaned it up, sandblasted it. I soldered the connection on, and then I had to splice it down here. So I just used one big long piece of sheathing, and then we'll just put a ring terminal on the end of it. This is gonna kind of suck. So when we install the light, we're gonna have to put this on and then shove that on. I know I can get another one. It's not that big a deal. I will, sooner or later. Here's another thing about the M-Unit. It's not looking for big wires. I mean, the kit they send is all a bunch of 22 gauge stuff. And they swear by it. And it's their business, so I kind of believe them. So when we do this again, because we will do it again, won't we? When we do this again, we will pull everything off, make a new wiring harness for everything, and start all over again. This is like a beta run, right? My 10-year-old heat gun took a shit, so I ordered another one. I gotta pick it up today. So I can't really heat shrink this stuff yet. I'll use fire on this one because I don't want to take it off again. So I'll be right back. I should do this one too. I will. Because I'm going to need ground for this thing. These three go together. And those are the lights. And then I think we're done. Just finished with the figuring everything out. Yeah. Ah! Hot still. Fucking hot. So now, headlights hooked up. Look at that. There's a headlight. There's a high beam. Can you see with the... Yes. Cool. Don't drop the headlight. The headlight's running a LED bulb. So it draws lower amps, which is always good. Okay. So I think last thing is these three wires for lights. So this is tail light, speedo gauges, and honest, I don't know where this one goes. Let me plug it in and find out. Neutral light. No. Hold on. Okay, the bright light indicator comes on. And so this one is for the side marker light. And I don't have those. So I don't need this one. I'll cut it off, roll it up, and get rid of it. but I got that. So this one and tail light. So this is gauge cluster. Yes. And then this one is for the tail light. And they'll need to go together. And where was I? I was here. Going to lights. Whoever thought to put this over here was not doing themselves a favor. I can tell you that. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's what I wanted. Okay. Lights are in. I mean, I like it like this because it's compact and everything's right here. If you put it, like I said before, if you put it over there, you got to run all these wires back there. And then you got to run all the wires back up front. So if you're building your own harness, you might want to do that. But for this, I'm just using the factory stuff. So it just made sense to me to stick it over here. I was going to put it right here, which would have been a pain in the butt. But then when I found that, I like it. So key on. I don't have any lights. They're not on. What did I do wrong? Lights is yellow. Right? Is there a ground missing? There's a ground missing? No. It was gray. You got overconfident. That's what happened. You got one to work. Okay, I have a circuit. Okay, so we were working on the lights, not light, headlight, the lights, tail light, dash light. I cheated, okay? I went to the auxiliary port and it works. There's probably some setting in the light port that I need to work on, but for now I just cheated. And I don't care. I'll leave it like that. So pulling up their app, listen to my phone.
Mo ride ready.
Fuel pumps, sorry, fuel pump's running. Now when I hit the turn signal, the blinking noise is coming out of my phone. So I went back to the light output, tried it, changed the configuration to when lights, and I still got nothing. So it's something I'm doing because they work on the auxiliary setting. So I'm just going to leave them there for now. And then this thing calibrates every time you screw with it. So every time you pull a wire out and then put it back in, it recalibrates. It also says that it reads the light bulbs so that it knows which one's going out. I'm a little perturbed it won't take the LEDs in the front, but I'll work on that too. So I think that this is done, except for the heat shrinking on the light bulbs. Tying this other yellow wire up. And then I'm gonna take all of this loose because I know it's bothering you. I'm gonna take it all loose and I'm gonna tie it all up and then put it all back together. And I'm gonna take the dashboard off so I can get to this thing easier and get this stuff tied in. Oh, off camera, I took off that Wago and I soldered these connections together, and then I stabbed that one in there. This wire is actually too big. I mean, it's a bitch to get it in there. I mean, it goes in and it stays. But like I said, the unit doesn't require heavy gauge wire. Why? I don't know. But you know, why would I know? I didn't make it. I'm just a ding dong trying to install it. I'm going to eat some lunch and then we'll come back and clean up